Zanele's heart raced as she stared at her reflection in the mirror. Her hair, usually thin and short, was now cascading down her back, thick and unruly. "This can't be real," she whispered, touching the strands. Her mind flashed back to her childhood in Cape Town's suburbs, where a tragic accident left her with a severe burn scar on her scalp. The incident made her a target for cruel jokes and bullying, deeply affecting her self-esteem. Growing up, Zanele stayed close to her cousin Lita, who was everything she was not: confident, popular, and beautiful. Lita often tried to pull Zanele out of her shell, encouraging her to join in social activities. But Zanele remained hesitant, haunted by her insecurities. Zanele remembered that fateful day vividly. She was 7 years old, playing in the kitchen while her mother cooked. A playful slip and a pot of boiling porridge fell, spilling onto her head. The searing pain was unbearable, but the emotional scars were even worse. The children in her neighborhood were merciless. They called her Scarhead, and the constant taunts made her withdraw from the world. Her parents tried to comfort her. "You're beautiful inside and out," her father would say, but the whispers and taunts continued, making her dread school and social gatherings. The scar was a constant reminder of her perceived ugliness, a barrier to her confidence. As Zanele grew older, her insecurities deepened. Despite being bright and talented, she could not shake off the feeling of inadequacy. Her cousin Lita was her polar opposite. Lita was the life of every party, with her radiant smile and captivating presence. She tried to include Zanele in her social circle, but Zanele felt like she didn't belong. One afternoon, after another failed attempt to fit in, Lita had an idea. "Let's visit Mama Nolita's herbal shop in Pokap," she suggested. "She's known for her healing remedies. Maybe she can help you feel better." The shop was nestled in the heart of Pokap, with its vibrant houses and cobblestone streets. Inside, the air was thick with a scent of spices and herbs. Mama Nolita, a wise old woman with deep, penetrating eyes, welcomed them warmly. She listened to Zanele's story with empathy and offered her a bottle of special herbal oil. "This oil will help you find your inner strength," Mama Nolita said. "Apply it every night and you will see a change." Excited yet skeptical, Zanele applied the oil that night. The next morning, she was stunned to see her hair grow uncontrollably. It was as if the oil had unlocked something deep within her. Panicked, she confided in Sizwe, her supportive childhood friend. Sizwe noticed Zanele's distress and offered his support. "Let's go back to Mama Nolita," he suggested. "Maybe she can explain what's happening." Together they returned to the herbal shop. Mama Nolita welcomed them back with a knowing look. "The oil has triggered your hidden emotions and unresolved fears," she explained. "Your hair is a physical manifestation of your inner turmoil. To stop it from growing, you need to confront your past and embrace your true self." Zanele's eyes widened in disbelief. "But how?" she asked. "You need to share your story," Mama Nolita said. "Face your fears and tell the world who you are. Only then will you find peace." Determined to reclaim her life, Zanele decided to participate in a storytelling event at a local community center. She spent days preparing, with Sizwe and Nolita supporting her every step of the way. But as the event drew nearer, her anxiety grew. The hair was becoming a living nightmare, growing faster and wilder each day. One particular rough night, Zanele dreamed that the hair had wrapped around her, pulling her into a dark abyss. She woke up gasping for air, her heart pounding. The next morning, she found strands of hair tangled on her bed sheets, as if the nightmare had been real. Despite her fears, Zanele knew she had to confront this head on. She couldn't let the hair or her fears control her life any longer. The day of the storytelling event arrived. The community center was packed with people from all walks of life. Zanele stood backstage, her heart racing, her mind filled with doubts. What if they laugh at me? What if they don't understand? Lita squeezed her hand. "You've got this," she said, her eyes filled with pride and encouragement. Caesar stood beside her, his presence a comforting anchor. "Just be yourself, Zanele. Tell your truth." As the name was called, Zanele took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. The lights were blinding, but she focused on the audience, finding familiar faces in the crowd. Her parents, Lita, Sizwe, and even some of her old schoolmates. She took another deep breath and began her story. "I was 7 years old when my life changed forever," she started, her voice shaking but steady. She recounted the accident, the pain, and the bullying that followed. As she spoke, she could see the expressions of the audience changing from curiosity to empathy to awe. "Every day, I felt like I was less than everyone else. I hid behind scarves, afraid to show my true self. But hiding didn't make the pain go away. It only made it worse." She paused, looking at the audience, her heart pounding. "Then I met Mama Nolita, and she gave me this oil. It made my hair grow, but it also made me realize something important. I can't hide from my past. I have to face it, embrace it, and let it make him stronger." Tears welled up in her eyes, but she didn't stop. "This hair," she said, holding a thick strand, "is a part of me, just like my scar. They are reminders of what I've been through and how far I've come. I'm not perfect, but I'm strong." The room was silent, the audience captivated by her honesty and courage. She could see tears in some eyes, nods of understanding and smiles of encouragement. As she finished, the silence was broken by a single clap, then another. Soon the entire room erupted in applause, a standing ovation. Just as Zanele felt a wave of relief, she noticed a group of girls in the back, whispering and pointing at her. Among them was Ayanda, a popular girl who had always looked down on Zanele. Ayanda approached the stage, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "Nice story, Zanele, but you all know you're just looking for attention. That hair? It's just a trick." Zanele felt a pang of fear and anger. "It's not a trick, Ayanda," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "This is real." Ayanda smirked. "Prove it." Without warning, Ayanda reached out and tugged at Zanele's hair. The hair responded violently, wrapping around Ayanda's wrist and pulling her close. The audience gasped and Ayanda screamed, trying to pull away. Zanele's heart pounded as she tried to calm the hair, her hands shaking. "Stop it!" Zanele cried, tears streaming down her face. The hair slowly released Ayanda, who stumbled back, her face pale with shock. "See? I told you," Ayanda said, her voice trembling with defiance. "There's something wrong with you, Zanele. You are a freak." The words hit Zanele like a physical blow. She felt the weight of the stairs, the whispers. Her newfound confidence crumbled, and she fled the stage, her hair trailing behind her like a dark shadow. Zanele ran through the streets of Cape Town, tears blurring her vision. She didn't stop until she reached the edge of the city, where the ocean met the rocky shore. She collapsed on the sand, sobbing uncontrollably. The hair, now wild and untamed, wrapped around her protectively. Sizwe and Lita found her there, their faces etched with concern. "Zanele, come back with us," Sizwe said gently. "We can figure this out together." Zanele shook her head, her voice barely a whisper. "I can't go back. I can't face them." Lita knelt beside her, taking her hand. "You're not alone, Zanele. We are here for you. We always have been." Zanele looked up at her friends, their eyes filled with unwavering support. She took a deep breath, the salty air calming her. "I don't know what to do," she admitted. "We'll find a way," Sizwe said. Together, back at Mama Nolita's shop, Zanele explained what had happened. The old woman listened quietly, her face thoughtful. "The hair is a manifestation of your emotions, Zanele. It reacts to your fears and anger. You must find a way to control it." "But how?" Zanele asked, her voice filled with despair. "By embracing your truth," Mama Nolita replied. "You need to confront those who hurt you and find peace within yourself." Zanele nodded, determination replacing a fear. "I'll do it." The next day, Zanele returned to the community center. The whispers started as soon as she walked in, but she held her head high. She found Ayanda in the group of girls who had tormented her. "Ayanda, we need to talk," Zanele said, her voice steady. Ayanda looked surprised but nodded. They stepped outside, the tension palpable. "Ayanda, I'm not a freak," Zanele began. "I've been through a lot, and this here, it's part of me, but it doesn't define me." Ayanda shifted uncomfortably. "I didn't mean to. You hurt me," Zanele said bluntly. "Your words, your actions, they hurt, but I'm done hiding. I'm done being afraid." Ayanda looked down, her face flushed with guilt. "I'm sorry, Zanele. I didn't understand." Zanele nodded, feeling a weight lift off her shoulders. "I accept your apology, but I need to move on. I need to find my own peace." As Zanele walked away, she felt a sense of liberation. The hair, now calmer, flowed behind her like a banner of strength. Zanele stood on the stage once more, her heart pounding, but this time with a different kind of fear. She had faced her past, confronted her tormentors, and now she was ready to tell her story again. The audience watched in silence, their eyes filled with respect. "I've learned that our scars, our fears, our pain, they don't define us," Zanele said, her voice strong and clear. "What defines us is how we choose to face them. I choose to embrace my truth, to stand tall, and to let my hair flow freely." The room erupted in applause, and this time Zanele didn't feel like a freak. She felt powerful, beautiful, and free. As she stepped off the stage, Sizwe and Lita were there, their faces beaming with pride. "You did it," Sizwe said, his voice filled with emotion. Zanele smiled, feeling a warmth of their support. "We did it, together." Walking out of the community center, Zanele felt a sense of peace she had never known. Her hair, no longer a curse, was a symbol of her journey, one of strength, resilience, and self-acceptance. For the first time, Zanele felt truly free.